to talk about how to create a character that we can edit the paths and keyframe them and eventually have it loop across the screen. So when you get in here, you want to make a new project and then just a new composition. And we're going to call this one character. And I'm just going to make the background like a light gray or something like that, something I can see. And we'll make it probably like 10 seconds is probably good enough for the duration. I'm going to hit OK. So for this one, I'm going to start out. I'm just going to make a very simple one. You can add extra components on here, but I'm going to go ahead and just create a body for my character, give him a color, and then I'm going to title stuff, just kind of keep myself organized. So that's going to be body. Now I could add extra parts like head, etc., but I'm going to kind of just stick with one component because the new stuff is a little bit more difficult. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to click off, and I'm going to start drawing some legs here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Pen Tool, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make some legs here and then here, and I can kind of push those forward and backward as needed. So I'm going to go click, and then I'm going to actually just click down to the ankle. I know that kind of looks a little bit strange, and then I'm going to click out to the foot. Okay, and then I can go back here with my convert tool and adjust this shape, and also I can adjust it so that it has a stroke. I'm going to leave the stroke black, and I'm just going to turn off the fill altogether. Okay, there it is. So there's my character's leg. And I'm going to call that one leg L. Okay. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go into my contents. And what I'm looking for is my shape 1. So that's going to be, that I actually want to title leg as well. And we're going to go into the leg and go into the path for it. And what we're going to do there is at 0, I'm going to turn on a keyframe, okay? And what that does, and I can do different things now. I can mess with my stroke weight and whatnot. That's not being keyframed, but actually that might be. But right now there's only one keyframe, so I'm just going to kind of leave it at that width. And I'm going to close that up. And really what we're looking at here is then this leg, okay? So the leg's already set, but what I want to do is do some other things here. I want to give it a pair of socks. I want to give it some shorts. So we made a keyframe path on there. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to duplicate that, Command D. So what that did was it took that leg and made a copy of it, and it's going to keep all those components that the original leg had. But we're going to call this one shorts. Okay. And for the shorts, the reason I duplicated the way I did is because that path right there is linked to the leg. So, but for this path, I'm going to do a couple things here. First off, I'm going to open up both of these things, both of my leg and my shorts, so I can see the paths. I'm going to alt-click on this top path, and then so I get this pick whip, and I'm going to tag the pick whip to the original path. So now this one's going to follow. You see this pops up. That's going to follow every movement that one does, except I'm going to make some changes on my new path, which is my shorts. So I'm going to click on my shorts, close it up. All right, I want the shorts to have a different color, so I'm going to click here. I'm going to click and color match it to red. So it's going to change the color, but we're going to do some different things here. I'm also going to make that a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to go into the shorts, and I'm going to add on the shorts a trim path. And on the trim path, I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to shorten. Let's see, I don't want to go from there. I'm going to shorten the end up so that the shorts kind of end maybe about halfway down the leg or whatever. And we're looking good here. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to make another copy of the shorts. So I'm going to Command D up, and this is I'm going to call socks or sock 1, or depending on what I want to do here. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to call it sock 1. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go in. I'm going to change the color of it to be white. And I'm going to go into my trim path for that. I'm going to switch that starting point for it. So I want the sock to only be at the bottom. All right. And then I'm going to get a little bit crazy here. So I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to go into my stroke, and I'm going to make this, instead of a butt cap, I'm going to make it a round cap, so that it kind of has like a rounded pointed toe. And this is stuff you don't necessarily have to do, but it's kind of fun to mess around with. And then I'm going to go into my trim path, and I'm going to bring that, I'm going to leave the end point at 100, but I'm going to bring the start point down. And I'm going to duplicate that sock because on this sock, the sock 2, I want my stroke on that one to be the butt cap. And what's going to happen is then bump up this here. Let's see if that works. There we go. So now the bottom sock, sock 1, is really the rounded part, and then this other one is the flat. So you can kind of just customize your stuff there. Now I'm going to duplicate sock 2 again, and this one's going to be called stripe. So I'm not changing anything about it, except for I'm going to change the color. I'm going to match it. No, you know, I'll do blue. And then I'm going to shrink up my stripe using my trim path to be just a really small line on my sock. Okay. And the big thing here is that all these things are all linked. So the leg is the master control, really. I mean, you can move any of them, but the leg is the master control. And now, because those were all originally, that path was linked, and then when I made the shorts, I linked that path there. So now all these were duplicates of shorts, so they all had the same thing. And then the shorts also had a trim path, so then I didn't have to keep recreating trim paths. Okay. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and copy leg L. So this one's going to be leg R. And I'm going to go ahead and move it. And I want leg R actually to be below the body, so it actually goes behind there. So that same thing you could do, I'm just going to go ahead and save my project. That same thing you could do just by going in and for your arms. So I'm just going to call this video demo character, hit save. And if you get it to this point, then you're in a good place for animating and then eventually looping.